Vessalatu vesselamu ala seyyidina Muhammed. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الذي رسول الله دجا وشهر بسطه وشهر قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اتق الله يا أبا الوليد لا تأتي يوم القيامة ببعير تحمله وله رعاء أو بقرة لها أخوار أو شاة لها نواخ. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Allah'tan kork ey Abul Velid.
The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, Fear Allah, O Abdul Walid.
Zekat malına hıyanet edip de
Do not betray the zakat wealth.
Kıyamet gününde böğüren deveyi veya möleyen ineği veya meleyen koyunu boynuna taşıyarak huzura çıkma diyor.
Do not betray the zakat wealth, and do not appear on the day of judgment carrying a groaning camel, a mooing cow, or a bleating sheep on your neck.
Yani bu onları vermeyen, zekat vermeyen inek şeyleri, onlar boynunda, onlar böyle bağırarak hayvanlar boynunda insan gelir. Onun için
If somebody betrays the zakat, then the cows and those things for which zakat is given, they will come on the person's neck. Those animals will come crying out on their neck.
onları dünyada onu ver diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Therefore, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warns, do not betray the zakat, but deliver the zakat.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرض مصدقكم. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki zekat memurlarını razı ediniz.
The beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, please the zakat collector.
Zekat memuru, zekat toplayan insan, onun da o ücreti o şeyden çıkıyor, zekattan çıkıyor. Onu da zekat razı edin diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
The zakat collector is the person who collects the zakat, and his wage comes out of that. It comes out of the zakat too. So please him, says the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
Onun hakkını verin diyor.
Give him his due right.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الرجال يتخوضون في مال الله بغير حق فلهم النار يوم القيامة. Sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki bazı adamlar hakları olmadığı halde Allah'ın Müslümanların iyilikleri doğrultusunda kullanılmaları için tahsis ettiği malda tasarruf ederler. İşte onlar için kıyamet gününde ateş vardır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, some men wrongfully dispose of the wealth that Allah Almighty has allocated to be used for the benefit of Muslims. For them, there is fire on the day of judgment.
Yani hakkı olmayan, şimdi zekat verilmiş, o zekatı başka kendine harcayan ya başka olmayan yerlere harcayan insan, o emanet olduğu için kıyamet günü o cehenneme layık olurlar o insanlar.
The person who has been entrusted with the zakat from people must know that it is a trust and that it is that person's responsibility to deliver that trust, and the person who has been entrusted with the zakat may not spend that zakat on himself, or he may not spend the zakat for other purposes or spend on other unnecessary places. The zakat is something that has the one who collects zakat must know that he has been entrusted with the zakat, and that it is an entrusted item, and those who betray that trust will deserve hell and hellfire on the day of judgment.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله تعالى لم يرضى بحكم نبي ولا غيره في صدقات حتى حكم فيها هو فجزاء 8 أجزاء. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem diyor ki zekat taksimini hususunda Yüce Allah ne peygamberin ne de başkasının vereceği hükme razı olmadı. Ve onunla ilgili hükmü kendisi verip onu 8 sınıfa ayırdı.
The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, regarding the distribution of zakat, Allah Almighty did not consent to the judgment of neither the prophets nor anyone else. And He Himself, Allah Almighty, gave the judgment regarding the zakat, and Allah Almighty Himself divided the zakat into 8 categories.
Yani zekatın sırf altın, gümüş değil de ekindir, hayvandır falan, onları 8 bölüme bölmüş Allah Azze ve Celle. Kendi bu farz etmiş.
The zakat is not solely on gold and silver, but on crops, on animals, and so on. And Allah Almighty divided the zakat to be given into 8 categories, and it is Allah Almighty Himself who made zakat farz, who made zakat to be obligatory.
Zekatı peygamber başkası değil, yani Allah Azze ve Celle'nin hükmüdür bu.
The zakat is not a decision made by prophets or anyone else, but the zakat, it is the very decree of Allah Almighty.
O ahkam-ı hakimin onun hükmüne, adaletine bir şey olmaz.
There can be nothing against the decree and justice of the greatest of all judges, Allah Almighty.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الخازن المسلم الأمين الذي يعطي ما أمر به كاملا موفرا طيبة به نفسه فيدفعه إلى الذي أمر أن له به أحد المتصدقين. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor, Müslüman emin hazinedardır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that a Muslim is a trustworthy treasurer.
Yani o emanet alan insan emin hazinedar, bu hazineyi bekleyen, verilmesi.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes that a person who is supposed to be entrusted with the zakat must be someone who is trustworthy, a trustworthy treasurer, who is well fit for the task of guarding that treasury.
Emredilen sadakayı gönül hoşluğuyla emredildiği kişiye eksiksiz ve tam olarak vermesi halinde sevap olarak sadaka veren kişi gibidir. Yani bu sadaka malı alıp da o emanet olarak başkasına verilecek yere verilip de gönül hoşluğuyla, şimdi bazıları bu kadar parayı nasıl vereceğiz oraya, içinde bir şey olur. O olmadan veren insan o sadakayı, zekatı veren adam kadar da ecir sevap kazanmış olur.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, continues to describe the virtues of the person who has been entrusted with the zakat of people and who has been entrusted to deliver that zakat to the needy people. And the person who has been entrusted with the zakat and is trustworthy and fulfills his duty of protecting and guarding that treasure and delivering that treasure to their target, and does so willingly, fully and completely, without usurping anything for himself, that person who, as a trustworthy treasurer, has fulfilled the task of delivering the zakat will gain the same amount of reward as the person who gave the zakat.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أنفقت المرأة من بيت زوجها غير مفسدة كان لها أجرها بما أنفقت ولزوجها أجره بما كسب وللخازن مثل ما ذلك لا ينقص بعضهم من أجر بعض شيئا. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki kadın kocasının evinden israf etmeksizin infak ederse kendisine infak ettiğin sevabı vardır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that if a woman spends from her husband's house without being wasteful, that she gets a reward for what she spends.
Yani kocasının evinden o hayır hasenat yapan kadın israf olmadan, yani israf yapıp da adamı batırmadan veren ona sevabı vardır.
So the woman who does good deeds and performs charities from her husband's house without being wasteful and without going into extravagance or bankrupting the man, she will be receiving rewards for those good deeds and the charity she gave.
Kocasının da malı kazanmasından dolayı sevap vardır.
And there's also a reward for her husband because he earned the wealth.
Kocasının da aynı şekilde onun da aynı sevap var.
So the husband is the same. He also earns the same reward.
Kazanıyor. Aynı zamanda malı koruyup kollayan hazinedara da böyle bir sevap vardır. Yani
At the same time, the treasurer who protects and looks after the wealth also has a reward.
ona zekat memuru o sadakayı alıp da başkalarına veren insan da o sahabı da gene aynıdır.
So the zakat collector, the person who has been entrusted with a charity and delivers that charity to the needy, to the target, he too will be receiving the same reward.
Yani çünkü bu Peygamber buyuruyor ki bunlardan birinin hesabı diğerinin hesabından bir şey eksiltmez. Yani hepsi.
For all three, our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, the reward of one of them does not diminish anything from the reward of the others.
Yani şeydir ama birine verilirse ötekisinden eksilecek değil. Hepsi aynı sevapı kazanmış olur.
So nothing will change with regards to the reward of the person who gives the zakat. Nothing changes with regards to the reward for the person who collects and distributes the zakat. The three parties will gain the share, will earn the same share of rewards without diminishing or decreasing each other's rewards.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما أنا مبلغ والله يهدي وإن أنا قاسم والله يعطي. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem şüphesiz ki ben bir tebliğ edeceğim. Yani Allah'ın emirlerini tebliğ edeceğim diyor. Hidayet veren ise Allah'tır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, I'm the conveyor of the message of Allah Almighty, and I convey the commands of Allah Almighty. But it is Allah Almighty who gives guidance.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem onu tebliğ ediyor. Onun karşılığında hidayete nasip olan Allah, hidayeti kime nasip ederse Allah'tandır.
The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, conveys the message, and in return, whoever is destined for guidance, and whomever Allah Almighty grants it to, is destined to receive the guidance from Allah Almighty. Guidance comes from Allah Almighty.
Ben yalnız taksim edeceğim. Kasım dedi, taksim edici. Hakiki veren ise Allah'tır.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, continues to say, I'm only a distributor. What he means by Qasim means the distributor, but the true giver is Allah Almighty.
Yani sen eline gelip de malından verdin mi? O da Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem dediği gibi yani sen vasıtasın.
So you should know too that when wealth comes into your hand and you give from it, as the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, you must know that you are just an intermediary.
Allah'a veren Allah'tır, seni bir vasıta yapmış, sen de o şeyden dolayı sevap kazanmışsın.
You must know that the one who gives is solely and truly Allah Almighty, and it is Allah Almighty who has chosen you to be an intermediary to distribute what He Almighty Allah gives, and you have earned a reward because of that.
Yani verdiğin vakit Allah sana kısmet etmiş, güzel şeyi sana sevaplarda olmuş.
So when you find yourselves being in a situation that you give, you must know that Allah Almighty has destined this beautiful favor for you, and that Allah Almighty has chosen you to gain rewards and has made you to be an intermediary to distribute what Allah Almighty gives.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنا أبو القاسم الله يعطي وأنا أقسم. Peygamber adı da Abul Kasım, yani künyesi olarak.
One of the names of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and it is a name as well as a title, is Abul Qasim.
Buyuruyor ki ben Abul Kasım'ım. Abul Kasım kısmet, yani taksim eden demek, Kasım da taksim eden. Allah zekat malını ve ganimet verir. Ben de aranızda taksim ederim diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, I'm Abul Qasim. I'm Abul Qasim, the one who portions out, the one who distributes, the distributor. Allah Almighty gives the zakat wealth or the war booty, and I distribute it among you, says the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم ما أوتيكم من شيء ولا أمنعكموه إلا أنا إن أنا إلا خازن أضع حيث أمرت. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki ben size bir şey ne verebilir ne de sizi ondan men edebilirim diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, I can neither give you anything nor withhold it from you.
Ben sadece emrolunduğum şekilde hareket eden bir hazinedarım.
I am merely a treasurer acting in the way I was commanded.
Yani Allah onu Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem hiçbir şey bırakmazdı elinde.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would not leave anything behind or would not keep anything for himself.
İkinci güne şey kalmaz.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, would not leave anything for the second day.
Hepsini taksim eder, verir.
But instead he would distribute and give it all away.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم العام بالحق صدقة كالغازي في سبيل الله عز وجل حتى يرجع إلى بيته. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki adaletli bir şekilde iş yapan zekat memurunun sevap olarak durumu evine dönünceye kadar Allah yolunda savaşan kimse gibidir. Yani cihat eden kişi gibidir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that the status of a zakat collector who does his job justly is in terms of reward, like someone who fights in the way of Allah Almighty until he returns to his home.
Yani bu gidip sadaka zekat memurları vardı. Şimdi tabii öyle yok ama gene de bazı insanlara verilip onlar da o emaneti hak olan yerlere teslim eden var insanlar ama eskiden o zekat memurları vardı. Kalkıp da Peygamber Efendimiz ondan sonra halifeler bu memleketi gideceksin. Bu zekat memuru olarak zekatları toplayıp getireceksin.
So in the past, there used to be those who went around in order to collect charity, in order to collect the zakat. Now, of course, there isn't such thing anymore. But still, there are people to whom you may entrust your zakat so that they may deliver that trust to the rightful places. But in the past, that was more common. There used to be zakat collectors who would be entrusted with the zakat in order to deliver that trust to the rightful places. So during the times of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and also during the time of the caliphs and later on, there would be zakat collectors who would have the task and responsibility to travel through the land and to collect the zakat and then to bring it back.
Denirdi. O insan o yola çıktı mı cihada çıkmış gibi sevap kazanır diyor Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that when that zakat collector set out on the road in order to travel the lands and in order to collect the zakat, he would earn rewards as if he had gone out for jihad.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم المعتدل في الصدقة كمانعها. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki zekat işlerinde haksızlık yapan kişi onu vermeyen kişi gibidir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that the person who commits injustice in zakat matters is like the person who does not give it.
Yani o zekatı men eden kişi vermeyen kişi gibi sayılır.
The person who withholds the zakat is considered like the person who does not give it at all.
Onda günaha girmiş olur.
So withholding zakat or parts of the zakat is a sin, and the person who does so enters into sin.
قال الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إسعاد في الإسلام ولا عقر ولا شغار في الإسلام ولا جلب في الإسلام ولا جنب ومن تهب فليس منا. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki İslam'da ağıt yakma, mezarın üzerinde kurban kesme.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that there is no wailing, sacrificing animals on graves.
Şigar, zekat mallarını zekat memurundan ayağına götürme.
There is no shigar, there is no bringing the zakat animals to the feet of the zakat collectors.
Celep veya memurun olması için bütün zekatlarını bir yerde toplama cennet yoktur.
And then there is no gathering all the zakat in one place for the collector to take it.
Yağma yapan da bizden değildir.
And the one who loots is not one of us.
Yani bu şeyler zekatlar için her şeyin usulü adabı var. Onun için bunlar bu başta İslam'da ağıt yakma, ağıt gazın.
So for everything there's a certain method and a proper etiquette, and there's also proper etiquette and a way how to do and how to collect zakat, and there are rules to be observed. And also in Islam it is not good, and in Islam there's no such thing as wailing.
İyi değil yapma. Mezarın üzerinde kurban kesme o da olmaz.
And it is also not allowed to sacrifice animals on the grave.
Zekat malımız da onlar usulü var her şeyin.
And there's also a proper method when it comes to collecting zakat.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا جلب ولا جنب ولا شغال في الإسلام. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki İslam'da zekat mallarını zekat memurunun ayağına götürme celep diyor ona veya memurun alması için bütün zekanı bir yerde toplama cennet ve şigar yoktur.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says in Islam there is no bringing the zakat animals to the feet of the zakat collector, so-called jalab. And there's no gathering all the zakat in one place for the collector to take, janab and shigar.
Yani onun tabii o şimdi onlar ince eşler, onlar zaten şimdi kimse yaptığı yok onları. Onlar eski yapılan şeyler de şimdi hep.
These are intricate matters, and this just shows us that there is a proper way of how to do things. The things that are described here was a description to how things were done or should not have been done in the past.
Herkes zekatını veren veriyor, vermeyen Allah akıl fikir versin inşallah.
Now it is a different matter. Now it comes down to whether you give zakat or not. And for this time, it's what people need to focus on is to fulfill their duty of giving zakat. And when it comes to those who don't give their zakat, may Allah Almighty give them wisdom and understanding, and inshallah they will give their zakat.
صدق رسول الله فيما قال أو كما قال زاد مع شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه الكرام وأرواح جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين خدماء الشرعين وأرواح أئمة الأربعة وإلى أرواح مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العالية خاصة إمام الطريقة وغوث الخليفة خواجة بهاء الدين محمد ويسير البخاري سيدنا عبد القادر الجواني ومولانا الشيخ شرف الدين دارساني ومولانا الشيخ عبد الله فايز دارساني ومولانا الشيخ محمد نايم حقاني وسائر سادات الصديقين وما نحن بحضرات وجوار الحسين حسين فندر الفقاه الحاج مصطفى تراب جملة من geçmişler ruhları için şehit şuhadalar için günahı saadet için Allah Teala Fatiha.